Yeah. Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. I'm a headliner.
What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today. We're talking about NFL playoff football. You better believe it. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who walks out victorious in this weekend's matchup. We're going to talk about this matchup and kind of come to a conclusion and a prediction here at the end of the show. I understand how playoff football works in the NFL, and I understand that a lot of people can't put their bias aside. It's just justified. They're pulling for their own teams. If I don't pick your team to win, don't get butthurt. It's not that big of a deal. It's just how I see things playing out here this week. But you know how we do things on this channel. We like to give things away. We give things away all year long. That's enough reason to subscribe right there. But what are we giving away here during the NFL playoffs? I'm glad you asked, because we have a banger of a giveaway here during the playoffs. A signed Justin Herbert helmet and a signed Austin Eckler jersey. Now, how do you become eligible to win this giveaway? It's super simple. It's right here on the screen. I typed it out for you. You must be signed up for a free account at Pristine Auction using the promo code Headliners. If you've already done this throughout the 2021 NFL season, you don't have to do it again. You're already entered into it. So make sure, just to be eligible, that is a must. We need to make sure we thank our friends over there at Pristine Auction. And how do we do that? We send more traffic to their site. But when you do that, you're also going to get emailed a $10 off coupon for when you're ready to make your purchase at Pristine. So make sure you're signed up there. How do you gain additional entries? Jake, I want a better chance to win these items. Well, I'm glad you asked that also. There's a few different ways that you can get more entries, up to 4 entries. You can sign up for a new account on Prize Picks. Use the promo code Headliners. Make your initial $20 deposit. They'll match your deposit all the way up to $100. You can make some Prize Picks with us here during the offseason, make a little bit of money on the side, plus you'll gain that extra entry. You can become a member here on YouTube. It's the join button just below this video. If you don't see it, there's a link down below in the description. Or you can pre-order a 2022 Fantasy Football Draft Guide, which is for sale right now on our website, thefantasyheadliners.com. Up to 4 ways to enter into this and make sure that you have a better chance of winning this huge giveaway here for the playoffs. Looking forward to picking a winner for this giveaway. But now let's actually talk about the matchup that you clicked on this video for. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So here we go. We got this matchup being played on Sunday, January 16th, 1 p.m. Eastern time down in Tampa, Florida. How is the weather going to be for that game? Well, this is one of the few NFC games being played outdoors, so weather is somewhat of a concern, right? Nah, not really. We're playing in Florida. Going to be right around 63 degrees, wind at 17 miles an hour, which I guess could be moderate in some forms, but I'm not overly worried about it. Partly cloudy skies. Not going to be overly concerned that the weather plays too big of a part in this matchup here this week. As for their overall season ranks here for this past season, you have the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming into this game 13-4 during the regular season. Their rushing offense, one of the worst in the league, 26th overall. Now, why is that? Because we know Leonard Fournette, at least from a fantasy perspective, scored us some good points, right? Well, that's because there was a lot of check down passes and some touchdowns. What they didn't really accrue was a lot of rushing yards. So that showed here during their season ranks and their total rushing offense being 26th. Their passing offense, however, led by, the GOAT Tom Brady, first in the NFL. Their rushing defense, we know this is an elite rush defense. They're 3rd overall in the NFL. Passing defense, somewhat suspect, right? And a lot of that had to do with a lot of injuries here in the secondary. Can they get healthy enough here in the playoffs to kind of limit some of these teams from taking advantage of them through the air? Well, one thing that's working in their favor is they're going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are not exactly known for a high-profile passing game, right? Their passing offense 25th in the NFL. What really caught me off guard, though, when I was diving into the Philadelphia Eagles, I had no idea. Literally, I cover football for a living. I talk it every single week. I didn't know the Eagles were number 1 in the NFL in rushing offense. Now, a lot of that has to do with Jalen Hurts, which I understand. But when you think of Philadelphia, you think of an injured Miles Sanders, a rotation in the backfield between Jordan Howard and Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell. None of them really stood out. Their running backs didn't really excel. Overall, though, as a squad, number 1 in the NFL. Their rushing defense, solid as well, 9th overall in the NFL. Their passing defense, pretty solid as well, inside the top 12 at number 11 here this season. So it really comes down to this, right? It's the passing offense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the passing offense pretty much of the Philadelphia Eagles. You got to give it to Tampa Bay, right? Can the secondary in Philadelphia hold Tampa Bay to a close game so that Philadelphia can utilize the rushing attack to try to walk away? That's what we're kind of looking at here during this game. A few injury concerns. On the Eagles side, really, it's Miles Sanders. He's still dealing with that broken hand issue. He's questionable to play. They want him to be out there, obviously, but let's be realistic. Nick Sirianni here in his first playoff game is going to use somewhat of a rotation in this backfield anyway, especially against a difficult run defense that we just saw from Tampa Bay. For Tampa Bay, I needed like 14 slides to fit everybody on their injury report, but let's be honest, we know they're banged up coming into the playoffs. They have a lot of guys that are going to be questionable. However, I do expect them to play. I wanted to make sure I listed a few guys that are already listed doubtful. Cyril Grayson, the wide receiver who's really come on strong here since the injury to Chris Godwin. He is now doubtful to play with a hamstring injury. What does that mean? Hopefully we get more Brashad Perryman, Mike Evans, and a whole lot of Rob Gronkowski, who we'll talk about here in a few minutes. Ronald Jones, his ankle, he is now doubtful to play. They activated playoff Lenny off the injured reserve and opened up his practice window. Supposed to return to practice. How much does he play, or does he play at all? Big question mark, big name that we're paying attention to here this weekend. And then Shaq Barrett dealing with a knee issue. He's questionable to play. I do expect him to suit up here for this ball game, and he would be a sight for sore eyes for this defense to really help try to limit that rushing attack of the Philadelphia Eagles. Some of the bigger names that we're paying attention to, we know that Mike Evans is still banged up. He's definitely somebody we're paying attention to. Really paying close attention to Leonard Fournette, though, right? Because we know we don't have Ronald Jones. We need some help. Do we really want to rely on Le'Veon Bell? Kind of a wait and see here. I think they would much rather have playoff Lenny. On to some storylines now. Well, not a whole lot. However, this is the 5th time that these two teams have met in playoff history. It's a lot here in recent memory. They met also back in week 6 of this season. Tampa Bay won that game 28-22. And if you recall that game, Tampa Bay got out to a pretty good lead, and then the Philadelphia Eagles kind of made a run late in that ball game just to keep it close. Now, Brady's passing attack versus the Philly ground game. This is what we're really paying close attention to, right? One of the best rushing attacks in football against one of the best passing attacks in football. Who will impose their will on the other? That's the biggest question mark here, right? Because they both have their strengths. Now, we mentioned earlier during the giveaway that we're partnered up with here with Prize Picks. It's just another way to get one of those entries into that giveaway, right? Go to Prize Picks, sign up for that free account, use the promo code Headliners, deposit that $20 minimum. They'll match it up to $100, and we're going to be giving you picks in all these videos. So I'm going double tight end for my Prize Picks here in this matchup. You got Dallas Goedert, because right now, it's playoff time. You better believe I'm feeling pretty fancy, and I'm going to go with the over on Dallas Goedert of 49.5 receiving yards. He's definitely somebody who is option 1 in this offense, the most consistent option in the passing game of this offense. And honestly, 49.5 yards, that's like 2 receptions for Dallas Goedert. The guy is somebody they can utilize deeper down the field, the run after the catch, plus he's looked at inside the red zone. I'm going over on Dallas Goedert. Plus, I'm also going over on Gronk. Right now, his prop is set at 55.5 passing yards. If Cyril Grayson is doubtful, Mike Evans is limited because he's going to play, but he's just not 100%. We know Antonio Brown out the picture. Brashad Perryman should be there, but he's banged up himself. When playoffs come, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski are a thing. I'm going to push the over here on Gronk because I definitely see him going over that 55.5 receiving yards, and that's what I'm looking at here for Prize Picks in this matchup. But now is the time that we head over to our Manscaped prediction here for this matchup. And honestly, just like Manscaped, I expect Tom Brady to deliver too many clean balls to not walk away with a victory here. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this ball game 30-17. It's the playoffs. It's Tom Brady going up against an inexperienced Philadelphia Eagles team. I don't want to piss off all the Philadelphia Eagles fans. Trust me, I think your team pretty solid. I don't trust your head coach in these types of situations. Going up against the defending champions with all kinds of experience, not only on the sideline, but on the field, This is going to be a severe uphill battle for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's why I'm a little bit worried. How does Philadelphia win this game? They get an early lead and they control time of possession on the ground. That's easier said than done against one of the better rush defenses in football. How do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win this ball game? Like they win most of their ball games. They just go out there and outscore you with their weapons and Tom Brady, and that's why I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers once again during this playoff matchup, but we like to stay interactive, right? This is how we are all year long. Leave your predictions down below. Maybe you see things playing out a little bit differently, and that is okay. We're not all supposed to agree. Do you realize if we all always agreed how boring football would be? This is the fun of it. Let's just talk it out down below in the comment section. Maybe you see things a little bit differently, and I would love to see those reasons down below in the comment section. But we're going to be breaking down each and every one of these matchups here during the playoffs and looking forward to doing it. Looking forward to kicking back, relaxing, watching some playoff football. I mean, I'm super pumped for it. Hopefully you are as well. Leave those comments down below. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not already. But we look forward to hearing from you down below in the comments section and talking all throughout the playoffs, the Super Bowl, and all NFL offseason. So have yourself a good rest of your day, a good week, and we'll talk to you later.
I'm a headliner.